making up. Trail niggas linking up. Link up, my nigga, let's link up.
Another episode of the Link Up. As always, I am your host, Ron the Don. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week in wrestling. And as always, my fellow host, since I got to get that right, don't want to be on his bad side this week, Mr. Allin, Mr. Allin, Xander, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on?
Sir.
See you on the grind.
Training, boy. Look, training last night. I got my ass whooped, bro. When I tell you it was bad, bro, that's the first time I ever got blown up in the ring, bro. Like, I ain't holding nothing back, no filter, none of that, bro. I got blown up in the ring, bro. Like, that's probably why you still see them in my face right now. It carried over from last night. You know what I mean? It was crazy, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
But we here. Still on the grind. I'm going back tomorrow, learning how to give a body slam. We're going to go from there.
For sure. And y'all definitely got to tap in with my dog Xander on the ground, man, so you can see the insights of what it's like to becoming a professional wrestler, man.
Yeah, I'm also I spoke to Luke. I'm trying to get some more, shout out Luke Hall. I'm trying to get some more, in-depth, like, behind-the-scenes content. You know what I mean? Because he kind of was like, he don't really mind, you know what I mean? But we show, a little insight, on, like, what's going on. You know what I mean?
That'll be dope.
Yeah. Bro, literally, I've been wanting to vlog, you know what I mean, my journey since I started. But I just didn't really know, like, how to approach it, you know what I mean? Because, certain, like, certain circumstances gotta make sense. I'm gonna just put it to you like that.
Yeah.
Hey man, but look, enough about me. Did you see wrestling though? Did you see Raw this week?
Man, you asking me? Of course I did. But
that's like one of them questions. Is the sky blue? Like, come on now.
Right. Friday Night SmackDown reviews. Let's jump straight into it. Your WWE Undisputed Champion, after retaining, came out, made his decree that he's here to stay, and he's looking to move on to find his next opponent for Bash at Berlin. He was then interrupted by Solo Sikoa, who said he was not finished with Cody Rhodes, and the only reason he isn't standing there in front of you all as champion is because of Roman Reigns. And Solo and the Bloodline, the Tungans, started approaching the ring because, of course, Jacob Fatu is apparently out with injury. They approached the ring. They were going to attack Cody Rhodes. He's saved by Kevin Owens, who comes in with the steel chair. And to thank Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes said that the person that he was thinking of challenging for his title next is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, to this degree, properly declined. After this, we got the Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under. The winner goes on to compete for the number one contendership opportunity for the WWE Tag Team Champions. The Street Profits ended up beating A-Town Down Under in this match. Then we moved backstage. Nick Aldis was discussing with Kevin Owens, discussing with Cody Rhodes. He actually preferred Roman versus Cody Part 3. But when KO heard this, it kind of changed his mind a little bit because Roman hasn't been around. Roman hasn't been on day in and day out, and he doesn't want to see a member of the Bloodline get that title. So he decided to accept Cody's challenge. So it is official. We're getting Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens at Bash at Berlin. Your thoughts on SmackDown?
Is that how it went down? Because, hey, the way I see it, bro, he kind of got bullied into getting a title opportunity, if you ask me. Because I think Cody Rhodes had something up his sleeve. I don't really think Roman Reigns was next in line. He just wanted, he mentioned Roman Reigns because he knew that would take him off and be like, okay, now I want, my title match now. So I think that's how it went down. I don't think Nick Aldis was gonna get Roman Reigns in that match at all. So I think it was going. They already had their mindset on Kevin Owens.
It was for sure some reverse psychology going on. You know, that's a popular phrase nowadays, and that was definitely going on in that situation. We got a little cat fight backstage. Cat fight with words between Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. That beef is starting to pick up ever since Tiffany threw Chelsea Green off that ladder at Money in the Bank. There's been beef between the two. I'm actually excited for that. After this, we had Jade Cargill defeating Alba Fire. Afterwards, her and Bianca were attacked by the trio of Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, and Blair Davenport, in which Naomi, Miss Glow, came out, made the save, and now we are officially getting the reformation of the Big Three we saw at WrestleMania. After this, our brand new United States champion, L.A. Knight, made his way out to the ring. New theme song and all. He got a little remix. He was stating his claim as he called his shot on being the champion. He made it, and nobody's taking that title from him. As he was saying all of this, he was then interrupted by Santos Escobar, who told him that his time will soon be up, and he's just the flavor of the month right now. Before we got the match between Santos and Andrade for the number one contender spot for the U.S. title, we got a video package for Giovanni Vinci, somebody who's set to make his SmackDown debut and return. So that's something to look forward to. Speaking of that number one contenders match, Santos Escobar actually defeated Andrade thanks to interference by Carmelo Hayes and Elektra Lopez. So he is now the number one contender for that U.S. championship. Your thoughts?
See, man, I told you that this rivalry between Carmelo and Andrade was far from over. They just trying to, and honestly, I think this is gonna lead eventually down the road a match with Carmelo, LA, and Santos Escobar.
Yeah. Fatal four-way action, huh?
Yeah, you can add I can see that happening. Fatal four-way. But look, I ain't been wrong. So I mean, hey, it could happen. Who knows?
You definitely been on that streak lately, but somebody who's been on the streak as well is Grayson Waller. He's been throwing his man Theory under the bus, but this time they were backstage. They were mad that they even had to compete for a number one contenders match. And in the midst of this, Austin Theory somehow talked Grayson Waller and Nick Aldis into making a match between Grayson Waller and Kevin Owens on the next SmackDown. So you could say this is maybe Theory playing dumb, but this is his form of get back in a sense. Speaking of the tag team qualifier, DIY, they defeated Pretty Deadly, so they will be facing the Street Profits to determine the number one contender for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And to end the show, Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, came out to the ring, calling out the original Tribal Chief, the OTC Roman Reigns, in which he happily obliged, and he absolutely destroyed the Tongans. He wrecked them. They tried to get the jump on him, but it was no good. I don't know about you, but this gave me flashbacks to the way he was beating Jay every time he fell out of line back in the empty arena era. So he was putting that type of beating on the boys.
I kind of got some hints of like the big dog vibes, kind of seasoned in with this new OTC Tribal Chief thing. You know what I mean? I mean, look, the big dog used to get jumped. The big dog is faster in the ring. The big dog was doing all this. So look, I could see it, man. You know, like the Tribal Chief with a little bit of big dog mixed in. Hey, look, I could dig it. Because look, as much people like to hate on the big dog Roman Reigns, dude can go in that ring, bro.
He can.
His moveset was very limited when he did the Tribal Chief thing. Like, he barely was doing like a lot of big moves. But when he was the big dog Roman Reigns, he was doing a lot of big moves.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna see a lot of them, like a lot of those big moves during like this babyface turn, and I'm excited for that.
And last week, it's so crazy. We talked about selling and who's underrated at selling. Roman Reigns is underrated at selling. Go back and look at any match he had versus Braun Strowman. The reason Braun Strowman got over is because of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns in the Shield, top tier. But speaking of Roman Reigns, I got a question. I saw this on the internet, and I was very intrigued and wanted to bring this up on the pod. Who would win? 2005 to 2008 Super Cena, when he was on that incredible run in the Ruthless Aggression era, where nobody could beat John Cena. He went against all the odds, or Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Oh, and I'm gonna say this, and I didn't even have to think about it. This is honestly as easy as it gets for me. Super Cena, bro. I'm taking Super Cena because, bro, you could not beat Super Cena, bro. It just wasn't a thing. Hell, everybody that was on like on the rise around that time, like all the heels that was on the rise at that time, you got Umaga, Great Khali, etc., etc. Them boys we all thought was gonna beat John Cena. And what happened? John Cena tore their ass up. So give me Super Cena, bro. Just because in that run, nobody was able to beat this man, bro. Like, bro, this dude had all the little kids on the edge of their seats, bro, including me. I was one of them Super Cena fans back in the day. Still a Cena fan now.
Oh yeah, and a tear to my eye just thinking about 2025. But shoot, I'm gonna agree with you, man. Just everybody that Cena beat back in the day, like he had a laundry list full of names. From 2005 to 2008, you had JBL, Carlito, Bobby Lashley, Batista, Umaga, The Great Khali, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Edge, Big Show, Chris Masters. Like everybody that stepped up to the plate was getting put down.
See, and I'm glad you brought that up, bro. One of my favorite matches in that era, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels at Raw, April 23rd, 2007, yes, bro. They was putting on pay-per-view matches on free TV, bro.
Raw, bro.
Like, that's a match. The way that match was, bro, that's something you see on SummerSlam or something, bro. Like,
facts. Not even to go off topic, but remember the night after WrestleMania and Kurt Angle wanted his revenge, and him and Shawn Michaels had that rematch on the Raw after Mania.
Oh yeah,
that match was fire. I'm not gonna lie. It's always been a debate which Shawn Michaels was better, early the 90s Shawn Michaels, or when he came back out of retirement. Give me the Shawn Michaels out of retirement, bro.
Give me 2000 Shawn Michaels, bro. I'm taking 2000 Shawn Michaels. And what's crazy is he only had one world championship in that entire reign, bro.
Insane.
But it was because he was fighting for something. It made it seem like dang, like, bro, this dude, like, he didn't even need a championship, bro. Like, you know what I mean? To kind of solidify like that run. Like, that was crazy, man. Yeah. All right, but back on the subjects, man.
For sure. We're going to get to Monday Night Raw. It started off hot. We had Rhea Ripley start off the show, which it was a banger. It drew in, I saw the report, 2 million people was watching Rhea Ripley to start Monday Night Raw. Interested to see what she wanted to say. And she was calling out Dom. She was calling out Liv. She said Dom is used to coming up short. She said Liv, her time is soon to be over. And this, in WWE, when you mention somebody's name, they're going to show up. So Dom and Liv came out. Dom explained that the reason that he left Rhea Ripley is because she didn't make him feel like a man. He had to call her mommy, and now he's with Liv Morgan, who calls him daddy. And, she gives him tendies and lets him play video games and all of that. And she, most importantly, she helped him beat his deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. I don't know about deadbeat, but his words, not mine. And through the midst of all this chaos, Rhea Ripley pulled a trump card. She said, they've been doing all that talking. We know where you are now. Out came Damian Priest, like a guy in a horror movie, standing behind Dom, standing behind Liv. And Monday Night Raw started off with a bang as they were brawling in the crowd, brawling in the backstage of the arena amongst the fans. And this eventually led to Damian Priest versus Carlito. Damian Priest, of course, got the victory in this match. Then he was attacked by all the members of the Judgment Day. And Rhea Ripley came out, made the save. And just when it seemed like that Damian Priest was going to get his revenge on Finn Balor, JD McDonough pushed him out the way and took the bullet. And when it seemed like Rhea was about to get her revenge on Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan was able to save him. After this, we got a promo from Bo Dallas saying basically his message was his sole purpose in life is to honor his fallen brother Bray Wyatt, and his life is with Bray. After this, we got Odyssey Jones beating probably, a future Intercontinental Champion in his debut. Karrion Kross came out planting some seeds, saying that a lot of people think Odyssey Jones is here to replace Big E, but he's actually here to replace Xavier Woods. And when Xavier Woods was about to speak, Kofi Kingston interrupted him. Xavier Woods was about to challenge the Final Testament to a tag team match, but Kofi Kingston made it a 6-man tag with the New Day and Odyssey Jones versus Karrion Kross and AOP, and that will be on Monday Night Raw next week. Your thoughts about Monday Night Raw thus far, Mr. Xander?
So, fun fact about the dude that that had wrestled Odyssey Jones, Vincent Winey. That's apparently Cora Jade's new boyfriend. So I wonder how that interaction was with Braun Breaker back there, boy. Hey, but nah, though. That dude, Vincent Winey, though, look, like you said, could be a future Intercontinental, future North American champ, future NXT champ. Hey, he looked like, that he fit like in that picture. So, hey, honestly, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, if they know what's good, they should keep him around, just to see what he can do. Because I think, people really sleep on the people that are like the enhancement talents. You should let him stick around and see what he can do. See, he could probably surprise a lot of people in that locker room.
For sure. I'm not going to lie. Again, not to get off topic, but it's a pod. That's what we going to do, talk. But one of the things I used to like seeing, I love NXT. I think it grew and made some great talent. But back in the old days when like the new talent used to just burst on the scene and come out of nowhere, it's I kind of missed that effect in a sense. So I hope one day they kind of bring that back instead of
but see, now that people was focused on like the FCW scene or like OVW, like people wasn't really watching it. Like it wasn't on a big enough stage, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you had to really like find out where it's at so you can go watch it. Right. Whereas nowadays you can go online and watch, the actual shows and see like who's on the rise and who's next. So it's kind of a good thing that they're doing it like the newer way like this. I kind of like it that way, just because it kind of gives you a taste of like who's the next up, like who's gonna be carrying Raw and SmackDown in the future. Because these people that are NXT are going to be on main rosters very, very soon. And if they don't make it to main roster, they can find other ventures and, maybe have bigger success at NXT or more success on the indie circuit. Because look, once you get that on your resume, the WWE on your resume, your prices go up. So
most definitely.
That's why when people get cut from NXT, like man, keep your chin up. You know what I mean? Look, because you can go out there on the indie circuit. People look at you like, oh man, this guy, he can work. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, bro, lately, since I've been, on the inside looking out type of deal, I kind of started falling in love with more of like the underdogs. You know what I mean? The people that are on the come up. Like I like seeing that more now that I'm involved in it. You know what I mean? So it kind of hits different.
Who is somebody that people may not know that they should be watching out for now?
Ooh, like out of like any promotions that I've been watching lately, or just like Wildcat?
Just anybody.
So reality of wrestling. Honestly, you should tap in. I mean, obviously Zilla Fatu, because he's doing his thing. He just won the reality of wrestling title against Edge Stone. That's the other person to look out for, Edge Stone. Fun fact, he was actually one of the cops in Dom's entrance. And he's over at Reality of Wrestling. He's the former Reality of Wrestling champ. You also got, let's see, because this thing, I've been watching a lot of Texas wrestling, so you're going to hear me say a lot of Texas people names. So, it's this one dude that Booker T he's taking a liking to, and he's really taking him under his wing. Josiah John. That's his name. Like, he goes by the Rocket. He mad. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He mad valid in the ring for sure. But yeah, man, just a lot of indie, a lot of people that are coming up right now. It's look, wrestling is in really good hands right now, bro. Like, definitely. Just from seeing it, like from being, like I was saying, being on the outside, on the inside looking out, it's like, it's a lot of talent. Like, we even got people that, people at Wildcat, believe it or not, got, people training right now that can potentially be, doing some stuff in the next 3-4 years. Me, but
for sure.
but yeah, so that's just what it is. Oh, trust me, I ain't stopping, bro. So you already know. Look, I'm just going to enjoy the ride and enjoy the grind. So I'm gonna be there for every up, down, every slip, every fall, every come up. Like, just whatever, man. Shoot, wherever the journey takes me, dog. That's honestly where I'm at right now.
I respect it. Speaking of people on the rise, the Creed brothers faced off against Alpha Academy in a Texas Tornado tag match, and the Creed brothers picked up the victory due to an Ivy Nile heel turn. Earlier in the night, she tried to warn Maxine, told her to leave those guys and come with her. Maxine declined, said she could not. She paid for that. Ivy Nile stretched her out on the table. Yes.
Hey,
and this distracted Otis and Tozawa, and the Creed brothers were able to take out Otis, stack up Tozawa for the pin, and take the victory.
Then this is my thing. So this is my thing, because I peeped game, right, that Otis was going out there. Exactly what? Okay, so what were you gonna do, Otis? if you were out there, like, what was your plan, Otis? I gotta ask, like, what was your plan? Like, was you gonna take Ivy Nile and body slam it through a table? I mean, hey, if that was what you were gonna do, shoot, hey, do your thing, bro. But I mean, hey,
2025.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If they do stuff like that on net, bro, start bringing like the intergender. Nah, you know what? Nah, we reach on that.
Yeah, they can.
Because I ain't gonna lie, hey, look, right now with the right story, like a good intergender match could be Dominic and Rhea Ripley.
I was just thinking that.
Story writes itself.
Oh, for sure. After this, though, we got a promo from Pete Dunne explaining his resentment towards Sheamus. He basically hated being called Butch. That's not his name. He's known as the Bruiserweight. He's Pete Dunne. And when Sheamus left him, when Ridge Holland left him, who's, as a side note, doing pretty well for himself, Pete Dunne felt lost, and he blamed Sheamus for all of this, which is why he's not going to stop until he makes Sheamus pay. After this, we had a match between Damage Controls, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. And we got a new team name for Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler called the Pure Fusion Collective.
The Pure Fusion of Collective. The Pure Fusion Collective. That's the name. I mean, is it better than Sniper Gang? Is it better than the Stud Line? I don't know, man. But that wasn't on my bingo card. I tell you that.
I just want to say I saw a funny comment on the internet. Somebody said, "Dang, even the tag team names are starting to get death rebelled." So I thought that was funny. But this match didn't even get a proper conclusion, as we saw the unholy union of Allin and Alba Fire interfere, setting up a triple threat tag team championship match on next week, Monday Night Raw, which your boy will be at. After this, we got
you gonna be there?
Yes, sir. Live footage coming. R-Truth, he ended up trying to do the Miz a favor, but it was the wrong one. And he got the Miz a match with Braun, but it turns out it was Bronson Reed, and the Miz was very upset, but Randy Orton calmed him down and got the Miz hyped for that match, and we'll get to that later. Gunther met Randy Orton in the ring. He made it personal by basically insulting Randy Orton's legacy, insulting his granddad, insulting his dad, and insulting Randy Orton. And then this heated Randy Orton. But before tension started to rise, Drew McIntyre came out, interrupted. He was then attacked by CM Punk, who said that he was having travel issues and wasn't going to be at Monday Night Raw. This distracted Gunther. He ended up getting RKO'd by CM Punk. And then, RKO'd by Randy Orton, sorry. And then CM Punk ended up beating Drew McIntyre with the belt. And we're going to get to a segment later predicting the future. But, this is definitely leading to a strap match for sure. And then after this, CM Punk said that he lied and all that. And it was funny because in the background, Gunther came out slamming things. So it might be something to take note of. WWE might be foreshadowing something there. Then we got a promo from Sheamus backstage. He was being interviewed. He was then confronted by Ludwig Kaiser, who said that's not over. And then attacked from behind by Pete Dunne with a shillelagh, who smashed Sheamus's hand on a crate. Bronson Reed then defeated The Miz. And then after the match, he destroyed R-Truth with 6 tsunamis. Same fate that Seth Rollins suffered last week. So R-Truth, unfortunately, suffered karma. Yeah, I believe Adam Pearce said he's suspended. Then it was announced that we're getting a mixed tag team match at Bash at Berlin. On one side of the ring is going to be Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, going against Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. So that's a big matchup coming in Germany at the end of this month. And then in our main event, Braun Breaker retained his Intercontinental Championship match against Sami Zayn in a 2 out of 3 falls match, 2-1, and that was Monday Night Raw. Your thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
So, I got a question. Why does everybody not like Sheamus? Like I don't understand. Like, you got Kaiser, and now you got Pete Dunne being mad at the fact that he got called Butch. But it wasn't Sheamus' fault as why he was called Butch. So if you want to hit somebody with a shillelagh, you should probably go hit Vince with that. Because I think he's the reason behind that name, Butch, all right? So, look. But overall, though, solid, you know what I mean? It was a good show. Randy Orton, I'm still asking questions, like SmackDown Superstar being on Raw, but neither here nor there. I mean, it is what it is. We already knew that the draft was, so we're not even going to acknowledge that. But, yeah, solid show. I mean, can't really complain.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm glad that Pete Dunne is getting some shine, for sure. I don't know why everybody's attacking Sheamus, but what I did thought was
theme song, that's probably why.
Probably. Yeah, for sure. And then, like, the Bronson Reed attacking R-Truth, poor R-Truth, man, just always getting in some trouble.
But see, this is the thing, though. I genuinely hope that Bronson Reed, right, did enough of those splashes on R-Truth to knock some sense into R-Truth. All right, because the whole comedy shtick, no, dude, we need the 2011 R-Truth. The 2010, 2011 R-Truth, the heel turn, Lil Jimmy R-Truth, the one that turned on John Morrison and smoked a cigarette and blew it in his face R-Truth. You know what I mean? So that's what we need. So maybe them splashes to knock some sense into this man. Because see, everybody's gonna expect the Miz to turn on R-Truth. That's gonna be expected. Everybody gonna expect that. Ain't nobody gonna expect R-Truth to be the one to turn on the Miz. You know what I mean? So, like I said though, I ain't no booker. So take that information as you will.
No, for sure. I mean, we was gonna get into it later, but since you predicting the future now, you know, let's get into a new segment. I don't know what to call it just yet, but we're gonna get into a segment because if you guys aren't familiar, this guy, he's been on the money about predicting stuff. And you know, some of you might think it's easy, you know, wrestling scripted. If you pay close attention enough, you kind of know where they're heading. But this guy gets it down to every last detail. So I want to know, Xander, what do you predict is going to happen next?
Ooh. So as far as like what storyline do you want me to predict?
I was gonna say the Final Testament and Xavier Woods.
Final Testament and Xavier Woods. Okay. This is a very unpopular opinion, but Xavier Woods is gonna turn on Kofi Kingston. It's gonna come out of nowhere, but it's gonna unfortunately happen. And when it does, I don't necessarily think that he goes to Final Testament.
I hope not.
But
please don't.
They're that team that's gonna make him see the light in a sense, and he turns on Kofi, and then he starts slandering Big E, slandering Kofi, and then they leads them into a match or something down the line, or a match series or two. So, I mean, that's all I really got with that as far as that goes. And then obviously Jones is gonna play. He's gonna play a part in that, and I think what's gonna happen with that is that's where the Final Testament is gonna come in to aid Xavier Woods with the Odyssey Jones problem.
That's interesting. It could play.
I still don't like the fact that I still like the fact that AOP is not being taken serious, man. Yeah, but I still don't like the fact that AOP isn't being taken serious in the tag team division, man. Those are some big dudes, bro.
Maybe if Sammy and Jay get those titles, maybe AOP can take them off of them.
You right.
I'm not.
It's gotta be another team. It gotta be another team besides Judgment Day.
But I'm not gonna lie. Last week we had Karrion Kross slander on here. You know, whenever we go into detail about these superstars, I start paying closer and closer attention to them. The potential is there. It's just he actually has to win something. He has to win something of significance. Like he has to do something of significance because the potential is there, the promos is there, the look is there, the faction is there. You know, we had Paul Ellering doing his best
championship
Loomis impression. Something he got to take out a big name, like get a bigger victory. Like, yeah, Kofi Kingston is cool, but like it got to be somebody of like right now status. No disrespect to Kofi, but
yeah. But it's the thing though. He's beaten how many world champions? And it's just like
it's been a lot.
Like it's one of those situations where it's just like, I mean, like I kind of hate to say it, but it's one of those situations where it's just like, yeah, okay, cool, next. But I hate that it's like that though. I feel like they should take that more seriously. You know what I mean? At least give him like a story where, well, possibly even honestly, you can even have like once they transition into maybe a babyface champion. Well, then again, some can argue that Braun Breaker is a babyface champion right now, but
he's a tweener for sure.
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean he still does that dog chant with the crowd, and he even daps up some people in the crowd. So it's kind of weird, like, but he's a bad guy. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, you could transition him full babyface, maybe, or probably just have give Braun Breaker a legitimate story like that. Whenever they get done with Xavier Woods in the New Day.
See,
put him in Final Testament. Well, don't put him in the group, but put him against Final Testament.
I feel like this is me kind of predicting the future in a sense. I feel like the next challenger, I could be wrong, but I feel like his next challenger gonna be Braun Strowman. Braun Breaker, that's gonna be his next challenger. Either that or Ilya Dragunov.
Braun Strowman?
Only because last week on Raw, he was like, who's going to take my name off of this title? And I just immediately thought of Braun Strowman because he can actually snatch that man's name off the title, like, if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Speaking of strong people, crazy. The world's strongest man was in the crowd with his son. Bro, his son is ridiculous. Like,
he just signed with NXT, too.
Mm-hmm. Bro gonna be a problem.
About to, you know what I mean? Look, Mark Henry, bro. Look, shout out to Mark Henry, bro. That is one dude that I would love to meet, like, in my journey, bro, being a wrestler. Like, that's one dude I would like to, like tap in with, pick his brain a little bit, like, cause that dude there is like, he seemed like he mad chill, bro. I was just saying, like, surprisingly enough, like pretty much like, the more that you're in it or whatever, you kind of get surprised with like who is actually like a good wrestler, like to hang around, and who's like the ones you'd be like, all right, let me not. Because I mean, there's a few people I ain't gonna say on the podcast. There are a few people that have come to our shows and just I just say like one or two people. I'd say one or two people. But everybody else that come to our shows is mad chill. Like the people that they bring on, mad chill, bro.
I feel like AEW, that's like one of those things where they kind of fumbled in a sense, because I feel like Mark Henry, he got an underrated mind in the business. This man has found so much talent, like, and he's giving back to the business in so many ways. I feel like letting him go is a big loss. Yeah, they got Jeff Jarrett and all of that over there, but definitely a big loss. And I'm about to get to the other shows in a second, but before I do, I got a little question for you, because maybe you can help me understand. And I don't know why I've been thinking about this all week, but I just need somebody to answer it. See if I'm tripping. You know how people hated Mauro Ranallo when he was on commentary?
Yeah.
And you know how they hated him because he's always loud, always, doing too much and talking over people and all that?
Right. I kind of know where you're going with this, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, with that being said, because I was one of the few people, I actually like Mauro Ranallo because he made NXT exciting. Like, he was the voice of Black and Gold for a little period there.
Hell yeah.
But people seem to have a lot of love for Pat McAfee, who is loud, speaks over people. And I don't know why. Like, I was just watching Raw, and I just thought about that. So maybe you can explain, what is the difference?
Oof. I mean, I could say, but see, it's not. I mean, I guess it'll make sense to some, like, or it just may not make sense at all to I guess, like, the average viewer. I guess he just has, like, that it factor about him at the commentary booth.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to explain, bro, but, like, Pat McAfee, believe it or not, is going to go down in history as, like a top 5, top 10 commentator of all time in WWE. Wow.
He definitely getting that Hall of Fame.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see. I can see him in the Hall of Fame. That's not even me reaching. That's like a realistic thing. Yeah. Him and Michael Cole.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think because of where the company is now, him and Michael Cole gonna be remembered much more as a duo rather than, say, Michael Cole and Taz or Michael Cole and King. Like, it's always gonna be King and JR, but then it's gonna be McAfee and Cole. Also, underrated commentator. One of my favorite, Booker T, man.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Oh,
that man
yeah.
got gems.
Man.
But a lot of people don't like him either, though. I don't get it.
Look, when you too good at your job, bro, people they gonna try to find little things to nitpick on and all this stuff that. So
for sure,
look, man, Booker T is definitely doing his thing in the commentary booth, bro. He's doing this thing on the commentary booth, doing this thing at Reality of Wrestling. He's just killing it all around, bro. He's killing it, bro.
He got his own podcast.
Yup, podcast too.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of Booker T, we're going to get into some of our other show highlights, starting with AEW Dynamite from last week. MJF started off the show with a banger against Kyle Fletcher, who ever since he went solo, bro, been putting on bangers. MJF got the win, and even after the match, he was still beating down Kyle Fletcher. Ospreay was trapped in his locker room backstage, but was able to get out, but the damage was already done. Also, in the course of this match, Don Callis tried to get Kyle Fletcher, I believe, to use a screwdriver against MJF, but he refused. And this when the match turned and MJF was able to get the victory. Also in that show, we had Shibata defeating the Bad Apple Brian Keith from the Learning Tree. Right when the rest of the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, the Big Redwood, was beating down Shibata, Hook made his return after catching fire to the face to make the save. Then we had Britt Baker showing up on screen, announcing that her suspension was lifted by Tony Khan. So I don't know if that was a work or not. And she dropped, a little dig at Mercedes Moné. She said, when things don't go your way, you take your ball and go home. Saying that at Allin, she's going to make Sasha Banks quit AEW like she did WWE. And so that's a little more heat on that rivalry. And then in the main event, we had Bryan Danielson taking on Jeff Jarrett, another banger. Bryan Danielson came out with the win. Right when him and Jeff Jarrett shook hands, dapped up, all of that, Swerve came out saying that he doesn't, want it to be unfair. He's going to show that he's better than Bryan Danielson at All-In, but on the upcoming Dynamite, he challenges Wheeler Yuta. And then Dynamite in a brawl, we had Heyman attack Jeff Jarrett. We had Timeless Tony Storm going at it with Mariah May. And that was Dynamite from last week. Any thoughts on that?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I did not watch Dynamite last week. And I'm gonna
I'm
gonna keep it a buck with you. Look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I genuinely might not watch it tonight at the time of this recording.
I understand. I'm just, I know we gearing up for All In at the end of the month, so I just been.
Oh yeah. Oh look, best believe I'm gonna get caught up when it's time to get caught up. But as of right now, it's just too much wrestling right now, bro. It's like a lot to keep up with, man. Like, dude, I really can only watch like Raw
and SmackDown.
Can't watch NXT. That's when I train. Can't watch NXT. I can watch AEW if I choose to. Can't watch TNA Impact. Can watch SmackDown. And I can watch any PLEs that come on Saturday and Sunday.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
Tuesday,
honest.
Thursday.
I'm going to be honest, though. What I do, y'all going to hate me, but all the other companies, they got to step their game up. I watch Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs. For the show, just a little behind the curtain moment. I watched the highlights on YouTube. If it's interesting, we're going to speak about it. But if it's not, it's not. But one thing that is interesting, speaking of AEW, they have a major player, another major player potentially leaving the company in Ricky Starks. It's been reported that it's likely that once his contract expires, he's going to WWE. Or is it expired already? I don't know. But he's definitely...
It's not expired.
But when it expires, it's looking like he's going to join one of his best friends, Cody Rhodes, in WWE. What are your thoughts on that? It's kind of monumental.
Personally, I like this for Ricky Starks because, you know what I mean? He has that. Like, we were talking about it factors. He has that. I know it sounds cliche as hell, but he has that it factor, bro. And, like, I know we said this before, and I'm going to keep probably saying it, but he is an alumni at Wildcat Sports. So it is good. It is nice to see somebody from Wildcat Sports. Like, okay, so it's a chance, you know what I mean? So I can actually, get myself out there to the point where possibly, I'm being looked at for in the future, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. God willing. So it opens up a lot of doors, and, it actually shows you that, no matter where you start at, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
For sure. Pause on that. But, I definitely see Ricky Starks going to NXT to start. Speaking of NXT, I got a little highlights from them. I know you ain't watch it, but for the people, we had Charlie Dempsey being crowned the new Heritage Cup champion, beating Tony D'Angelo, thanks to Ren Sinclair. We had Joe Hendry, Pete Dunne, and Wesley all get into a brawl. They all want to be next in line to challenge for Ethan Page's NXT championship. Otis accepted Obafemi's open challenge for the men's North American championship, and Obafemi retained, of course. Ain't nobody knocking him off. And then, in the main event, we saw Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, Ridge Holland become the new tag champs, defeating Nathan Frazier and Axiom in the main event. And that was pretty much NXT in a nutshell. There was other things, but like I said, I'll be grabbing all the important stuff. So, your thoughts on any of those events?
Oh, I mean, shout out Chase U. Finally got the championship. You know what I mean? So it is good to see that they're involving Ren Sinclair in something, because I'm telling you right now, from what I've seen, from the first match I've seen with her when she was at Wildcat Sports, bro, once they have the chance to turn her heel, if you ever seen this girl's heel work, bro, you are in for a treat. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm just sitting back waiting for them to turn her heel, bro. Once they do, you're gonna see that light shine, boy. But she, as a heel, she got some good mic work, in-ring work, all that.
Well, right now, her she is heel. She's with the New Quarter Catch crew. They're heel right now, but she's slowly integrated into the group, and now she's getting more of a spotlight. So that's about to be coming up soon for her. So
that's what I was saying. Right now, she's in a heel group, but she's not acting heelish. Yeah. But they're planting seeds, though. Mm-hmm. They're planting them seeds. You know what I mean? Planting the seeds. So, but hey, it's gonna go.
So what I understand is in NXT, you got fire group names like New Quarter Catch Crew, Chase U, stuff like that. But in WWE, you get the Pure Fusion Collective, and I'm hearing rumors about Street Trash. Also, the WWE has trademarked the name Fatal Influence, or the phrase Fatal Influence. Now, if you don't get what I mean, there's been reported that the name Street Trash could be a potential rebrand name for the new version of Judgment Day, which makes no sense. Considering the fact that Gunther called Damian Priest. Well, he did.
What was the other one you said?
Fatal Influence.
Now that I could see that being the name. Now that's probably sound like an unpopular opinion, but you remember when? So look, take you back to like 2012, 2011ish. Remember when Wade Barrett left Nexus and had to make his own group?
The Core. Bro,
you know what I mean? You can't. So I can kind of see like they're trying to shed that, like that former identity. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie. The only thing that's gonna suck is they're probably gonna get a Def Rebel theme song if they change the name, because they're not gonna keep the Edge's song that he had. Like that's like the last bit of Edge that we have in WWE right now is that theme song. Every time I think of that theme song, I'm like, oh, Edge.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna figure out the proper name for the Judgment Day 2.0. In some other news, at SummerSlam, we saw LA Knight defeat Logan Paul, and LA Knight is going up considering he has a new theme, new championship, and a new contract extension. But for Logan Paul, it's kind of going downhill in the fact that he's getting sued for $68 million. His company Prime is being sued. So that's really been all the wrestling news this week. Any thoughts on LA Knight contract extension, Logan Paul lawsuit?
Oh, that Logan Paul lawsuit, I ain't gonna lie. Give me $68 million right now and see what I do.
Who you telling?
But man, he getting sued. Shoot, like what can I say? Shoot, don't breach your contracts. Shoot, you know what you put on there. You know what you signed. So, hey, don't breach your contracts. I hope and pray that he has some damn good lawyers to counteract that suit. If you don't, gotta run them. They 68. What is that? 62, 68 million?
68.
That's a big number, boy.
Yeah, it's bad. But that's been a week in wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Anything you want to say to the people before we get on out of here?
So yeah, man, y'all can follow me on social media with the new username Xander _, because that's what we are now. That's what I identify as on the social media. You know what I mean? It's my stage name. You can follow Ron the Don, you know what I mean, on all of his social media platforms. What is it? The link up? The link up pod?
The link up pod.
All right. So,
underscores between each word. All in the description.
All right. So yeah. So y'all go ahead and do that. And see right now, he ain't sustained though. He ain't recognized the fact that I was being a douchebag today. So shoot, hey, we look, man, we not on that type of timing right now. You know what I mean? Look, we all in good moods and happy spirits today. So it ain't none of that. But just know, Ron the Don, I hate to break it to you. You are trash in WWE 2K. You are trash. And here comes the pain. You are trash. In every game you play. Bars, slight bars. And that's courtesy of Mr. All-in-One from the 631, Allin.
Well, I ain't know he was a rapper, ladies and gentlemen. But let me go ahead and wrap this up. I am Ron the Don.
Bars.
He will get this work sooner or later, and I will let y'all know about it. I am trash in everything that he said, but being that I am trash, if I somehow win and defy the odds, what does that make him? And I'm gonna just end the show on that. I appreciate everybody rocking with us, listening. All the returning viewers. Subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the pod for sure. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's always love. Everybody stay happy, stay blessed. And with that, we out.
Trip forever and I'm just not getting started. That's the one. Yeah.